Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to go over every current UFC champion and what they need to do in their respective divisions to become the GOAT of their division. I'm going to start off with Demetrius Johnson, and I'm just comparing and contrasting and then deciding what the champions need to do to become the GOAT of their division. Number one, so we got Demetrius Johnson, who is the flyweight GOAT. No one else in flyweight UFC history has 14 title fights or 11 title defenses. And he had like a 12, 13 fight win streak before he lost to Henry Cejudo. And if we take a look at Alexander Pantoja, now when it comes to let's get something straight. You're gonna notice throughout the video, I'm cutting down the title defenses by at least half. I think if because of the competition today, if you have someone like, because imagine if Alexandra Pantoja had like 11 title defenses in the flyweight division with the competitive we have today, I'd probably say he's probably the GOAT. Because the competition we have so much today is way higher than the Demetrius Johnson era fighters. And I'm not saying Tim Elliott or Henry Cejudo or Dominic Cruz, Uriah Faber, John Dodson. Not saying those guys aren't good, but the competition compared to today's competition back then, this new era of competition is way much more better. They are the definition of mixed martial artists. The fighters today are more well-rounded than the people Demetrius Johnson fought. And the reason I think Alexandra Pantoja needs at least 6 or 7 title defenses to beat Demetrius Johnson as a flyweight GOAT, because of competition, and also realistically no other lightweight is going to reach that level of greatness. I truly believe that Demetrius Johnson is the only flyweight that will ever have 11 title defenses in a row. No one else is going to beat that. And if someone does beat it, it's going to take someone who is amazing. It's going to take a Nurmagomedov to do that. Like, that's what it would be. You would need a Makachev or a Nurmagomedov or a Chimaev. You would need a Russian to enter the flyweight and then dominate for 10 years in a row. Like, if it's not a Russian, it's going to be pretty hard, considering we know Demetrius Johnson wasn't Russian. But I say Russian because the Russians are like the most dominant. But Alexander Pantoja, he's really good. If he gets 6 title defenses, I'm gonna call him the GOAT of the flyweight division. If he gets 7, he's the GOAT. And the reason I added needs to become double champ is I think becoming double champ will not only cancel out the rest of the title defenses he would need to get, but it would also add on to his legacy. Because let's say Alexander Pantoja gets 7 title defenses, and then you have the media say, well, it's not 11, so he's not the best. He becomes double champ. I would then immediately say the other title defenses that would bring him to 11 would be canceled out by the double champ status, because that's another weight class. We're talking going up to bantamweight and fighting whoever's the champ at that point. Whether it's like Umar or Marab or someone on the up and come, then that would make him the flyweight GOAT. Moving on to bantamweight, Dominic Cruz has 10 title defenses in five or six title. No, he has 10 title fights, but 5 or 6 title defenses. And we take a look at Sean O'Malley. He needs, in my opinion, at least 4 or 5 title defenses, and needs to finish or dominate 90% of his title defenses. Now, Aljamain Sterling, people say he's the bantamweight GOAT. A lot of people, all over media, are like, well, he got 3 in a row. Dominic Cruz can never get 3 in a row in the UFC. But the WEC merged with the UFC. So, officially, it's 5 or 6 title defenses. But I say, like I was saying, compared the fighters today versus back then, I could understand why people would say that Aljamain is the bantamweight GOAT, because he had 3 title defenses, right? He beat Jan again. He beat TJ Dillashaw, and then Henry Cejudo, who also beat Dominic Cruz. And I don't think Aljamain is the bantamweight GOAT. I think if he beat Sean O'Malley by like submission or like by a dominant decision, maybe I'd probably say he's a bantamweight GOAT. Uh, I think Aljamain still has time to become the bantamweight GOAT. If he comes back and beats Sean or beats Cheeto, whoever wins, that'd be a two-time bantamweight champion, and then gets like a one or two more title defenses, then Aljamain would be the bantamweight GOAT. But as of now, he's not the champion. This is a video about the current active champions. I think Sean O'Malley needs at least 4 title defenses, and he needs to finish 3 of the 4 opponents, or finish all of them, or at least a dominant decision. Because Dominic Cruz was not really someone who knocked his opponents out. He wasn't like a really hardcore finisher. It wasn't like he was finishing people left and right. I mean, he was dominant with his decisions. If we look at his title runs, look at his whole title run. Okay, so that's okay. So that's one finish. That's literally one finish. That's literally one finish. If Sean can get like 3 finishes and 4 title defenses, I would say he's the bantamweight GOAT. Now moving on to Jose Aldo, who has 15 title fights, 7 or 8 title defenses, and he's a 2-time featherweight champion. Now moving on to Alexander Volkanovski, because Alexander Volkanovski right now has 5 title defenses. If he gets 1 or 2 more title defenses, he's the featherweight GOAT. And people say, well, if Aldo has like, let's say for sake of argument, Aldo has 8. We're going with the highest you can to prove how great he was. Let's say he really has 8, and Alex has like 5. If he's at like 6 title defenses, why would you say he's the GOAT? That's like 2 less or whatever. The competition. Look at the competition, and this is all about competition. I keep ruining this. This is all about competition. If we go over here and we look at who he fought, we look right. Mike Brown, Monvel, Mark Hominick, and Kenny Florian. Frankie Edgar, Ricardo Lamas. These guys, they're good, but they're like C tier good. They're like B tier good. Look at who Alexander has fought. Where's Alexander? I totally got rid of it. If you look at who Alexander has fought, he's fought the better competition. And you're going to notice, like I said earlier, the defenses will cancel out because of the competition. We look at Max Holloway. Look at the people who Jose Aldo fought. Max Holloway, in my opinion, would school... Prime Aldo was just Prime Chad Mendez. Not Prime Aldo. Prime Holloway versus Prime Chad Mendez. Prime Holloway schools Mendez. He would school Ricardo. He would school Zombie. Even in their prime. Prime Zombie versus Prime Holloway. Prime Holloway schools him. Prime Holloway already beat Frankie Edgar. Uriah Faber, Holloway would... I think he would beat a Prime Uriah. If we do Holloway versus like Pedro Munoz, Holloway's gonna beat him. Holloway would beat Marlon. Holloway beats Jeremy Stevens. 99% of these fighters, Holloway would beat. And I bring up Holloway because if you think that Jose Aldo will always be ahead of Alexander because of the title defenses, look at the competition. Alexander is fighting better competition, right? He's fighting Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega, and he's fighting Chang Sung Jung. Granted, Brian, he's good, but he's not like the best. Korean Zombie, yeah, he was kind of old, but I mean, because it's been confirmed. Ilia Topuria is the next guy to be the contender in the title fight for Alexander Volkanovski. Topuria, I definitely believe Topuria would beat a prime Frankie Edgar. In the state that Ilia is in right now, he would defeat a prime Frankie Edgar. He would beat a prime Ricardo Lamas. He would beat a prime Korean Zombie. He'd beat a prime Mendez. He would literally mop the floor with Kenny, mop the floor with Mark, mop the floor with Monval. He'd even mop the floor with a prime Uriah Faber. And you might think I'm crazy, but the competition today is so high level and so better than what it used to be that if Alexander gets 1 more title defense, he is, in my opinion, the featherweight GOAT. If he gets 2 more, not only is he the GOAT, he's the confirmed GOAT. Like, you can't deny it. And moving on to Khabib Nurmagomedov, who has 3 title defenses and 4 title fights. Now Islam, some people say he's already the feather. No, he's already the lightweight GOAT because well, the competition is a lot better. Like let's look at that as well. Let's look at that competition scaling as well. Habib, right? Let's look at Islam. Islam fought Alexander Volkanovski, Charles Oliveira, Bobby Green, Dan Hooker, Drew Dober, Armin Sarukian, Gleason Tebow, Nick Lentz, or no, Leo Lentz. Like his best wins, honestly, for going from, because his like a win that's what a fine aged win, I guess you could say, like a wine. That's like a wine aged win is Armin Sarukian. Because we look at Armin. Armin's top 6, 7. He's up there in terms of the lightweight. If we look at because who has a beat fought? Let's look at really good names he fought. RDA, that's number 1. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. People say, well, what about Edson Barboza? What about Michael Johnson? Fine, let's look at Edson Barboza. Edson Barboza before he lost to Habib. He beat Beneil Dariush, Gilbert Melendez. Okay, he beat Anthony Pettis, Paul Felder, Bobby Green. Like Anthony Pettis was the best win. Everyone else, like they're good, but they're not like on the level of Habib or Conor or Dustin. They're like they're C. Some of these names are C tier fighters. Some of these are B tier fighters. Some of these guys they're good, but they're not that amazing. Like his best notable wins are Justin, Dustin, Conor, and RDA. Because like RDA was lightweight champion, right? He beat Kevin Lee. He beat Robbie Lawler. He beat Donald Cerrone, Anthony Pettis, Nate Diaz, Benson Henderson. These 4 wins right here are the best wins he could have. Like the names on there are so great. And if we look at Islam, right, I definitely believe right now that Islam, he's not the lightweight GOAT, but he's targeted. There's rumors of him wanting to fight summer of next year versus Charles Oliveira. But if it's Justin Gaethje, I think that's would add more value to his list. I believe Justin Gaethje, and I already explained it my UFC 300 card prediction or my dream card what should happen. Islam versus Gaethje is the fight to make it because Gaethje, he's on a 2-fight win streak. Gaethje's on a 2-fight win streak, right? He beat Rafael Fiziev, and he knocked out Dustin Poirier. I mean, that's something no one hardly ever does is flatlines Dustin Poirier. And people say, well, what about Charles Oliveira? He beat Beneil Dariush, and that's nice and all. But Islam, and this is coming from a Charles fan who really believes that Islam could lose to Charles. There's a high chance he could. But after that Volkanovski fight, after the second fight, I'm starting to doubt it. And if I'm proven wrong, hey, hate me all you want. Shove it in my face, because I'll accept it and I'll be happy if Charles wins. But I don't want Islam's record to become like an Usman thing, where it's like, oh, Oliveira, Alexander, Oliveira, and then Gaethje. Because that's what it was like for Usman. Usman, right? It was Woodley, and then it was Jorge, right? It was Jorge. No, it was Jorge Gilbert, Colby, Jorge Colby. I believe I could be wrong. But I know it was Jorge twice and Colby twice. Like, how good is a title? Like, not to take anything away from his wins or his record, but it was Tyron, Colby, Jorge, Gilbert, Jorge, and then Colby. Like let's say he beats Tyron and then Colby and then Jorge and then Gilbert, right? That's 3 new opponents he just beat. If he replaced Jorge and Colby with like maybe Leon or like freaking whoever else in 2021 was ready to fight him, I just think out of his 5 title defenses, 4 of them were against 2 of the same opponents. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's the best. I don't think Islam should take that Usman route. I think Islam should call out Justin Gaethje. And Justin Gaethje's new blood, number 1. Justin Gaethje's new blood for Islam. They haven't fought, so. But I'm getting off topic. But back to the Islam thing. For Islam to become the lightweight GOAT, The reason I say he needs 4 title defenses and not 3, because 3, you're no one in lightweight history has gotten over 3 title defenses. So at that point, he's just tying with Habib. If he ties it with Habib, people will say, "Oh, Habib still might be better because he was more dominant and he never lost." Sure, but getting 4 title defenses claims him as the lightweight GOAT. Now moving on to welterweight, GSP, who has 15 title fights and 7 or 8 title defenses. Look at Leon Edwards. In my opinion, he needs at least 5 title defenses, which Usman could never do. I mean, he could. Theoretically could have done it if he didn't lose to Leon. But I think, in my opinion, Leon needs at least 5 title defenses, depending on who he fights. If Leon does not take the Usman route, right? Let's say Leon beats Colby, and then maybe, let's say he beats Colby because he already got 1 title defense. Never mind, because Usman was his first one, and then let's say he beats Colby. That's the second one. Let's say he beats like Belal Muhammad. That's his third. Maybe Shafkat as his fourth, and like his 5th title defense would probably be, I don't know, maybe like Stephen Thompson, or like Jorge, or I don't know. Because I think the singular opponents are a better stacked resume than Usman's for those Colby and Jorge. He kept fighting back to back. I think for Leon to become the I can't speak, but I believe for Leon to become the welterweight GOAT. I keep wanting to say featherweight and bantamweight. But for Leon Edwards to become the welterweight GOAT, he needs to have at least 5 or 6 title defenses. And the reason I bring up it's optional for double champ status is because, well, GSP was a he wasn't double champion, but he was a champion in 2 weight classes. Let's pretend Leon Edwards gets 6 title defenses. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and he gets 6 title defenses. And people say, well, GSP had like 8 or 9 or 7 or 8 or 9, whatever. He had like 1 or 3 more, whatever. Fine. GSP was champion in another weight class. But I think like I was saying, those title defenses will get canceled out by the double champ status. If he gets like 5 title defenses, people say, oh, it's not as much as GSP. He's got like 7 or 8. Those 7 or 8 will be canceled out by the double champ status. Because if he goes up to because he's middleweight. If he goes up to light heavyweight and beats like Alex, or beats like Gary, or beats like Magomed or Jan, and he's double champ along with 5 or 6 title defenses, he's better than GSP in my opinion, and he would be the welterweight GOAT. Moving on to middleweight. No, welterweight. Bro, okay, hang on. I realized it just said Leon was middleweight. No, he's welterweight. If he went up to middleweight and then beat like Sean Strickland, or he went up to middleweight and beat like Izzy, or he defeated like Robert Whittaker for the belt, I don't know why I said Leon was middleweight. Forgive me. If Leon is welterweight and he went up to defeat a middleweight champion at the time in Sean Strickland, or Israel Adesanya, or Rodriguez Duplessis, or Robert Whittaker, or Marvin Vettori, whoever, it's what I meant to say. So, moving on to middleweight. My brain's not working today. Moving on to middleweight. 13 title defenses for Anderson Silva. No, not 13 title. 13 title fights for Anderson Silva, and 9 or 10 title defenses. My brain's not working today. In my opinion, it's as simple as that one thing. Sean Strickland needs at least 7 title defenses. 7 or 8, honestly. I say I'm fine with 7. If Sean Strickland gets 7 title defenses, then he's better than Anderson Silva. We're just moving on fast like that. Simple as that. Light heavyweight, John Jones has 16 title fights with 11 title defenses. Now, Alex Pereira, in my opinion, would need at least somewhere between 6 to 8 title defenses, and maybe go up to heavyweight and become double champ. But let's say he gets like 6 or 7 title defenses. Would I still think he's better than John Jones in terms of like light heavyweight GOAT? As a John Jones fanboy, I would definitely say if Alex Pereira got somewhere between 6, 7, or 8 title defenses, he would be the light heavyweight GOAT. I don't know why I said lightweight, but he would be the light heavyweight GOAT in my opinion, because like I was saying, competition. Even the light heavyweights today are a lot better than the ones back then. Like Alex Pereira would definitely beat 90% of the opponents on John Jones's record. So would Yuri. So would Glover. So would like Magomed Ankalaev or Jan, or any of these newer light heavyweights. Now moving on to heavyweight, Stipe Miocic, who has 8 title fights and 4 title defenses. Now John Jones, the current champion. If John Jones can, what the hell is happening? If John Jones can somehow get at least 4 or 5 title defenses in the heavyweight division, he, in my opinion, would be the heavyweight GOAT. Really, because like Stipe Miocic has 4 title defenses, you know, and John Jones I think would need at least 4 to be considered the GOAT, and or at talks. But if he gets 5, he's definitely the heavyweight GOAT. But that's just my opinion. You know, I really do believe every single person on here can become their respective GOATs of their division. It just would take a lot of work. Now, who would I say has the highest chance of becoming the GOAT of their heavyweight? Not their heavyweight. Who in... Forgive me. I keep saying my brain is not working today. Who in their respective division has the highest chance of becoming the GOAT in their division? Oh. Now, honestly, when I look at this, I think Alex and Islam have the highest chance. In my opinion, Alex and Islam have the highest chance. Because Sean... he hasn't even had his first title defense. We don't even know how good he is to last. Like, the thing with Israel, if Israel was still champion and he beat Sean Strickland for the title defense, I would say he's the GOAT. But since we have John, who has not had his first title defense and he's like almost 40. We have Alex, who's literally 36 and a half and has not even have a single title defense in either the middleweight or the light heavyweight, and who knows how long he'll be champion. Sean just became champion. You know, that's already 3 people off the list that we don't know if they could become the GOAT, but theoretically they could. Leon is in such a tough division, he could become the GOAT, but until he's on like title defense 3 or 4, I'm not sure he could become the GOAT. I just think the safest option right now is who has the highest chance of becoming the GOAT of their division. Number 1 is Alexander Volkanovski, 100%. If he beats Ilia Topuria, I would totally 100% believe he is the featherweight GOAT. Now, if he gets another title defense, like, let's say, what I think his game plan should be is to beat... he should beat Topuria and then defeat Max Holloway, because he's on a 2-fight win streak, and, you know, the second fight was close and the first one was close, so he should deserve the rematch. Because let's say he beats Ilia Topuria in February, you know, that's 6 title defenses, and then defeats Max Holloway, that's 7, you know. He would definitely be the featherweight GOAT. And Islam, really, if he wins his next fight, in my opinion, I would say he is the featherweight, the lightweight. If Islam Makhachev beats like Charles or Justin in his next fight, I would consider him the lightweight GOAT. But just to be safe, I'd say 4 title defenses. And he's almost there. He's already at 2 title defenses. He's close. He's getting there. So that's my video for who I think, or what I think, what fighters in each of their respective divisions, how they could become the GOAT. Yeah, so that's basically it, you know. That's it. Enjoy your guys' night, spread love, peace, and positivity, and have a good night. Oh, and also, I got this video idea from Lucas Tracy MMA. I wanted to shout him out. Like, I know I literally just started my channel, so maybe shouting him out isn't gonna do anything. But I didn't want to like make the video and someone has an idea like, oh, nice video idea, like, how'd you think of that one? I really didn't think of it. I got it from Lucas Tracy. I don't know why I went to YouTube Studio. Let's see if I can find it though. Yeah, I got it from Lucas Tracy. So shout out to Lucas Tracy MMA. It's like this one right here.
I got something that's new.
Never mind. It's freaking ads. Forget about it. But go follow Lucas Tracy on YouTube. Subscribe. You know, subscribe. He's like really good videos. Look at his videos though. You know, just really good videos. You know, like what current UFC champ needs to do to become the GOAT to their division. But that was like 7 months ago when Izzy had like not even fought Alex yet. And this is, you know, top 15 MMA GOATs, ranking top 10 MMA GOATs. Dricus du Plessis is actually good, and MMA makes no sense. You know, Islam Makhachev is better than Habib. Hamzat beats Israel. Top 10 strikers. You know, Alex got put to sleep for being cocky. UFC's worst division now has turned into the best. Alex versus Jan wasn't a robbery. You know, Israel Adesanya is going to slip on a banana peel if he wants to lose, which was in hindsight did not age well, honestly. Volk's prime is about to end. You know, just like things like that. You know, there's really good videos, and I got that idea for this video from him. So go subscribe to Lucas Tracy.